Welcome, my friends. Oh my goodness, welcome, my friend. Thank you for coming back to this Speak Truth podcast. Oh, I got some words for you, my friends, and some excitement. I can't contain it any longer. I've been hiding things, keeping things hush-hush, secret. Okay, so I'm heading home after having dinner, having a day of getting my hair done, my nails done, getting ready for a very special day that's going to happen in a couple of days. Before that, I need to get to that location. So my friends, oh my goodness, let's just take it a step back. So I know it's been a couple months where I've talked about, how do I even begin this? Because I don't have a lot of time. My journey of wandering in the desert, feeling just walking to spiritual death, suffering morally. That was my journey for the past year and a half. And last year I made a big decision. I had a choice to make, right? To either continue living the way I was living and suffering, or to leave the situation. So if you're new to this, you're probably like, hey, what's going on? I can't recall the episode, but I'll fill you in a little bit. I've been living with my fiancé for, oh my goodness, 6.5 years. And I found my way back to Christ, reading the Bible in a year last year and just diving in deep and hard. And it was like, oh my goodness, I'm not living accordingly. And, I kind of knew and was aware of it, but I dismissed it, just being blinded by the truth and just, turning a cheek. But the Bible revealed everything to me. My eyes were opened and realized, okay, I'm living in sin. I'm living with a married man. Now, when I say that, he was divorced civilly, but not divorced in the church. And I'm Catholic. So if anybody's Catholic, you need to get an annulment before you're considered divorced and you can remarry. So he wasn't officially divorced in the church, because it's a commitment, it's a promise, it's a vow, it's a sacrament that you make with someone. So I was just dying in my skin, oh my goodness. I'm yeah, we've been together for years, but still, he technically, in God's eyes, he's married. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm an adulteress. So this was just eating me up alive. Even just talking about it, I can cry, because it's been such a long journey. And it came to a point last year in the fall, and I think I mentioned this. I think it was in the video where I talk about my goals for the year. But anyways, where I needed to make a decision. I couldn't live I couldn't live the way I was living anymore. I loved him, but I loved God more, and this desire and this yearning for God and to live righteously and to live holy. It was just tugging and nagging at me. I just felt dry. I felt hungry. I was thirsty for God's grace, to receive the sacraments. I made a decision to leave, and I actually moved out for a day and a half. Not even a day and a half a day. I signed a lease. I had moved a few things in, and then happened to get a call from my fiance, asked me where I was, and I couldn't lie, because I was going to I had written him a letter, and I was going to just get my stuff moved out when he was at work and just disappear and leave him a note. But something in my heart was saying, just tell him the truth. And he was in shock, what are you talking about? Went home, and I knew when I went home, I said, this is going to be so hard. How could I face him? And it was the most horrible night, the worst night of my life, in a sense. I slept in a different room. He kept coming in, and long story short, we were up all night, crying, and just, he was begging me not to leave, and it was so sad. And I swear, I felt like I was going to die. It was the weirdest feeling, having to, make this decision. Do I stay or do I go? God, what do I do? I woke up in the morning and I had this, thought to myself, if someone pointed a gun at my head, what decision do I make? And I think I said to myself, stay. And, of course, I had to get up and face him. And he was devastated, and he spoke to me, and it was willing to do anything it took for me not to leave. And I just broke down. I said, that's my answer, God. And said he would do whatever. And so I said, yes, I'll stay. And so then I had to take care of all my other matters and text the landlord and say that I changed my mind and I'm not going to move in. And long story short, I got most of my money back, minus like $200 for like inconvenience fees, whatever, and I ended up staying. And now we're here months later. You know, it was still a struggle those last few months, but my fiancé gave me the space that I needed. You know, we did our best to try to keep our hands off each other. But that's hard when you're living with someone and, you know, you're compromising your soul. So it was a struggle, but, you know, he kept reminding me, and I had to see the bigger picture. I'm like, hey, God, I almost gave everything up for you. You know, I felt like it was in comparison to the story of Abraham, when God commanded him to take his beloved son, Isaac, and sacrifice him. And then what happened, if you know the story, you know, just when he's about to, God said no. And then all of a sudden there was like a lamb or a ram or some animal that was used to sacrifice. But God tested him. And he proved to God that he was willing to obey God no matter what, even taking his own son's life. I know that sounds horrible, but that's the Bible. That's the story. And obviously he didn't, because God. So I almost feel like, you know, I had everything that anyone could ever want. You know, this beautiful man in my life who loves me, who died, do anything for me. We have a beautiful home in the country, and, you know, we have a good life. And, but I wasn't happy because my soul was not happy. I knew, you know, for me, material things don't matter. It is my soul, my spirit, you know, our eternal destination, and I want heaven. And so, long story short, if I said that already, you know, now it's the night before we take off to a destination wedding that we've been planning, and a couple obstacles. We had a date a couple months ago, and then that didn't happen, and whatever not, and some other family issues and matters have happened. So just, oh my God, what's going on? You know, is this happening or not? What do you want? And so I've been praying and discerning God's will and just putting my trust in God's hands. And now it's happening. So I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to Puerto Rico, and in a few days get married in the Catholic Church. Oh, my goodness. So everything's official. My fiance got his annulments. We're good. We got confirmation from the church, from our priest to give our blessings. But let me tell you, like literally right up to last minute, like literally like last Monday that I heard from the priest from Puerto Rico, finally say, okay, yeah, this date. And I'm like, thank you, God. I've been going to church, adoration and praying and saying, hey, God, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you. You're testing my patience, but I have to trust you. Everything's happening for a reason. And it all worked out. My friend said, it all worked out. So I wanted to share that excitement. I've been holding it in. So kind of catch you up to date what happened, because I know I left you with that cliffhanger saying that, you know, I was going to leave. And yeah, so that's everything that kind of happened in between till now. And so I'm excited, my friends. Trust in God. Place your trust in God. No matter where you are in the desert, my friend, there is a way out. There is hope. There is salvation. But you have to do the work. You have to do the work and be willing to sacrifice some things along the way, and trust that God, He has your back, and His plan is the best plan, even though it's not happening right away, and maybe it takes a couple years and months. Let me tell you, I know I've been waiting months and years. So, but it's all good. So I'm home now. I'm going to wrap this up. So my friends, God bless you. Next time I talk to you, I'm going to be in Puerto Rico. I'm going to try to do a podcast while I'm there and record, because I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to want to share details with you, and just something I'm sure I'll be inspired to talk about. But until next time, my friends, go out in the world, share love, make peace, be happy. Please share this with anybody that can use this inspiration, to hear this story of hope, you know, that believe in God and all is possible. Have faith and believe, right? And trust and patience, and much patience. Oh my goodness, let me breathe. I'm so excited. So wherever you're in the world, have a beautiful day, morning, night, evening. God bless you. And yeah, talk to you soon. Mwah.